Well, Birmingham Legion's U.S. Open Cup run may have delayed it just a little bit, but tonight Southern Harm is back on the menu as the Legion gets set to host their bitter rivals Memphis 901 FC. The best rivalry in the Deep South starts right now. Just a picture-perfect night here in Birmingham, Alabama, as we welcome you to our coverage of USL Championship Soccer presented by Warren Averett. As Birmingham Legion FC gets set to host Memphis 901 FC. Here in our broadcast booth inside Protective Stadium, glad to have you with us on this Wednesday night. Alongside the coach, Mike Eben, I'm Blake Gardner. And Mike, only fitting that a big rivalry night has big stakes on the line.
Yeah, Birmingham versus Memphis is a big rivalry in any sport. Tonight, both teams really want and need these 3 points. I expect this game is going to get a little bit physical, maybe a bit nasty. It's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be a tough game on the players.
Well, here is what is on the line tonight. The Eastern Conference standings coming into this one look like this. Memphis near the top half of the Eastern Conference. With a win tonight, they lock up their playoff spot. Birmingham, meanwhile, still some work to do to try to shore up their playoff positioning.
Well, Memphis, of course, is going to be fired up. A chance to lock down the playoffs is a big moment for any team. Birmingham, they know they're going to get in, but they want to make the point and they want to climb up the table.
Well, for Memphis, one of the key spots for them so far this year is a guy who's making a homecoming tonight. Bruno Lapa back in the mix against his former club this evening.
Bruno Lapa was a fan favorite when he was here in Birmingham. He's very skillful, a real technician. He creates goals, he scores goals, he always has an impact.
And on the other side of things, for Birmingham Legion, a big change in goal tonight. No Matt Van Okel available. It's Trevor Spangenberg who gets the start.
Well, Trevor Spangenberg has been with this team for a long time. He's a very experienced goalkeeper, but he hasn't played that regularly this season. He needs to have a big game.
Just his 8th start in all competitions this year. It is going to be a big moment for Trevor Spangenberg anchoring this Birmingham back line. Well, kickoff is right around the corner here at Protective Stadium. Can Birmingham get back to winning ways against their rivals, or will Memphis lock up a playoff spot tonight here in the Magic City? It's Birmingham Legion and Memphis 901, and it comes your way right after this.
I walked into Chick-fil-A completely outnumbered. My husband was away at military leadership training, and the kids were doing this. Miss Carol brought me water, something to eat, and then before I knew it, she was tying Margot's shoes up and carrying her out to the car.
It always makes me feel good if that helps somebody.
I went in the next day because I just wanted to make sure she knew how much I appreciated her help.
I'm just so glad there was somebody there when she really needed it.
That's gonna go on my refrigerator.
Welcome back to our coverage of USL Championship soccer here in Birmingham, Alabama. Almost time for kickoff, but first, let's get a look at each side's starting 11s tonight. Mike, let's start for Glass and Memphis.
Very athletic and dangerous out wide, and DaCosta up front is a real goal scorer.
On the other side of things, for Birmingham Legion FC, a tight turnaround, a trip back from South Texas after they played RGB on Sunday. Head coach Tom Stone has made 3 changes to that starting 11.
The left side of the team is new with Nuegbo coming in up top, Alves coming on at the left back, and of course Trevor Spangenberg in goal.
Our referees tonight are led by Matthew Corrigan. The Oklahoma native gets his 13th USL Championship assignment this year, his 49th USL match over the last 3+ seasons. Already talked about Stephen Glass, the head coach of Memphis 901 FC, the 47-year-old in his first campaign as head coach in Memphis, longtime manager of Atlanta United 2, and then Aberdeen in Scotland. On the other side of things, head coach Tom Stone, now in his 5th season at the helm of Birmingham Legion FC, trying to lock down his side's 5th consecutive playoff appearance since their inaugural campaign going back to 2019. Well, Trevor Spangenberg is one of those Legionnaires who has been with this club since that inaugural campaign 5 years ago. He's been goalkeeper number 2 most of his time with the Legion, but he gets a start tonight in this rivalry matchup against Memphis 901 FC. There are the visitors. Big Jelani Peters back in central defense tonight for Memphis. A game Memphis would love to have against their rivals. These two teams have already met here at Protective Stadium this year, going back to the U.S. Open Cup back in May. These two sides drew each other, with the winner going on to face Charlotte FC out of MLS. Memphis came here. Birmingham Legion got 3 goals to take out their rivals 3-0, eliminate Memphis 901. Birmingham would then go on to upset Charlotte and advance further into the U.S. Open Cup. So these two sides originally scheduled to play a little bit earlier in the campaign. This match I should say, got moved to now from the summer. And these two rivals will face off 2 times over the next 11 days as we finish out the race to the playoffs here in 2023. Fantastic night for soccer. Cannot say it enough. 75 degrees and clear skies here in the Magic City as we get ready to go. The first edition in USL Championship play here in 2023 of Southern Harm is underway between Birmingham Legion and Memphis 901 here at Protective Stadium. At this time, our official happy hour is over. We invite all fans to move behind the home benches. Good to have you with us tonight. USL Championship Soccer presented by Warren Averett. A big matchup for both these two sides. Mike, you expect a physical one tonight between two teams that have seen each other quite a bit over the past few years.
This has been a really good rivalry. Birmingham has had the better of it for the last few years, but this Memphis team has proven they can win a lot of big games this year.
Mikey Lopez forced into an early giveaway. Here comes Memphis. Luis Fernando couldn't find his way around Fanuel Kavita, but was able to maintain possession. Fernando continually forced backwards. Was he pushed in the back? Referee says yes. Free kick given. Mike, that's going to be a matchup to watch most of the night. Luis Fernando on that wing against Gabriel Alves, who's back in the starting 11 tonight for the Legion.
It's going to be a really fun matchup. Fernando loves to have the ball at his feet. He loves to take players on. Gabriel Alves himself likes to get forward and thinks of himself maybe a little more as an attacking player than a defender. So that matchup should be fun.
This has given Memphis an early set-piece opportunity. Aaron Malloy, one of the best midfielders in the league. An early set-piece delivery towards the penalty spot. Headed once, now twice. The second one by Colin Smith. Jeremy Kelly tried to lob it back into the mix. Alex Cronali, the first man to it. Jasper Kassim couldn't find his way out of the corner. Colin Smith, a veteran move from the 19-year-old, lets it go out of play for a Birmingham throw.
Memphis has stepped up and pressed high so far, and they've caused 2 or 3 turnovers early just in the first minute or so.
Nice touch there from Jelani Peters. Another Birmingham Legion throw just a couple of minutes in tonight here at Protective Stadium. tried to play the big switch. Was cut out, but headed only as far as Lopez. Aiden McFadden couldn't get it around the Legion midfielder. Birmingham a chance to possess as Memphis continues to push that pressure up high and win it back in short order. Malloy clattered from behind by Lopez. Referee plays advantage. Malloy remains down behind the play, at least for the moment. Luis Fernando trying to attack. His pass off target only finds Alex Cronali.
We saw the starting lineup for Memphis 901. We were a little uncertain of which players might play in what positions. It does look like this might be a 3-5-2. They'll defend with 5 in the back, but they'll attack with 2 center forwards and 3 central midfield players. Perhaps trying to throw Legion off, at least for the first few minutes, and have them not be quite in sync.
Prosper Kassim tried to connect to Enzo Martinez. Good defending done by Carson Vom Steeg, and a free kick conceded by Martinez. He was not thrilled with the whistle there. So more possessional control here early for Memphis. And some space up the flank for Aiden McFadden. All this with some defending to do. McFadden's gotten forward. With his left, he serves to the other side of the park, Akeem Ward. Former member of Birmingham Legion himself serves it into the mix, headed away by Alvis. Martinez, a second header that's cut out by Jelani Peters. Couldn't make his way through the traffic. First 4 minutes have all basically been played in this. Memphis attacking in. Can Birmingham break out? An opportunity here goes wanting. It'll be a Memphis throw, and it gives us a chance to check in with the third member of our crew tonight for the first time down below, Christina Chambers. Christina?
That's right, Blake. Legion head coach Tom Sowen says that his team needs to be aggressive in this game. They know exactly what tonight means and the points. He says for them, they need to focus on their performance. He says, I don't need to harp on the standings and what that means. They know exactly what's at stake here tonight. And he says they just need to go out, be aggressive, and focus on their tactical game plan.
Thanks, Christina. It's a Birmingham side that come into the night 7th in the Eastern Conference, although, as Mike said, they have gotten the better of Memphis the past few meetings against their rivals. 14th overall meeting between these two clubs tonight. Birmingham has won 3 straight. Both matchups last year in the U.S. Open Cup match earlier in 2023. Memphis 901 has another free kick that Malloy puts down quickly. Good receiving by Akeem Ward. 1v1 against Colin Smith for now. Ward finds his way around, but lost his footing. Do Birmingham want to break quickly? Kassim was trying to no avail. Good work by Malloy and Leston Paul. Akeem Ward trying to thread it through, couldn't connect with Kelly. Spangenberg clears. But Mike, some early pressure applied here by Memphis, and it continues.
3 center backs for Memphis means that there's 5 midfielders for Memphis, and those 5 are controlling how the game is played at the moment, but they do leave themselves a little bit exposed. It means there's 3 attacking players from Birmingham versus 3 center backs, so we could see some counterattacks, we could see some quick attacks that create real numbers up chances for Birmingham.
Smith back in the mix for Memphis. His pass intercepted. The youngster Matthew Corcoran steps in front, and here comes Birmingham. It's 5-on-5 for the moment. Nwegbo gets the service away, headed aside by Smith. Fadden into the challenge with Corcoran, who won it. Martinez finds Lopez. Birmingham a chance to assert themselves for the first time tonight. Kassim. Hounded by Akeem Ward. Another dangerous ball. This one caught by Drew Romig.
Romig was looking to play that quickly, but it was 1 versus 2 up top, and he wisely decided to just hold on to the ball, slow things down, and get his team into position.
Romig's catch gives us a chance to look at the injury report tonight for the first time. We'll start with Memphis 901, who are once again without Reese Buckmaster, without Emerson Hindman. Both these 2 guys have missed the last 8 games now. 2 big missing pieces for Memphis 901 FC, who at times have struggled without both. On the other side of things for Birmingham Legion, Anderson Asiadu remains out with personal reasons. Good news is Tyler Pasher is back in the 18, not in the starting 11, but is available off the bench tonight. But they are missing goalkeeper number 1. Matt Van Oekel is out. Did not look healthy near the end of the RGV match on Sunday. And then their starting left back over the past couple of months, Moses Mensah, is not available for selection tonight either due to yellow card accumulation.
The start of this season, we looked at the roster and thought this is a really deep roster, lots of quality players. With all the injuries and players out, it turns out they needed every single one.
Loy's initial attempt blocked. Kelly restart things out wide. McFadden got the service away. Did it bend out of play? Oegbo thought it did. Referee's flag stayed down. Ward kept it alive and won Memphis a throw.
Keem Ward versus Colin Smith is going to be a really fun matchup. Both players really quick with very quick feet. Keem Ward typically plays a little bit farther back on the field, sometimes as a true left back. But tonight he's going to be more of a winger, and it's going to be him versus Colin Smith. Speed on speed.
Both Aiden McFadden and Keem Ward getting plenty forward here early for Memphis. 8.5 minutes in tonight. Swamp Steeg is forced backwards to Graham Smith. Fernando a touch, only just a touch before getting it back to Malloy. Sustained possession here for Memphis, almost ended there. Alvis got a foot in. Drew Romig a touch. Making his 12th straight start, his 20th of the campaign in goal for Memphis. It's Bill Hamid who started in goal for Memphis against Birmingham in the Open Cup contest. Both sides agreed to part ways on that contract. It's been Drew Romig who's manned in between the posts for Memphis the bulk of 2023. Malloy finds Kelly in a half space, who keeps it moving to Akeem Ward. Ward, a first-time serve that whistles across goal. Fernando couldn't quite get there. McFadden couldn't keep it alive. And Mike, a goal kick here for Birmingham. Probably a good time to look at the keys to the game. Obviously a good start for Memphis here 10 minutes in.
Well, Memphis, we thought the key would be transition play. They create a lot of opportunities, but they do leave themselves very open in the back, and especially tonight with only 3 in the back. And then they need to keep their composure. You got a lot of old teammates, maybe a point to prove. They're going to have to stick to their game plan and not get too emotional. For Legion, they need to keep it tight. They can't afford to get behind early to this team, and they just need to play as a team and fight for each other and fight for the shirt on their backs.
Kelly in a bit of open space again, trying to play the killer pass. Kavita got a piece of it, but Malloy keeps it down in the attacking end for Memphis. McFadden heads his way around Alvis. McFadden's serve headed aside by Kavita. Still defending to be done for the Legion. Malloy. Kelly on the turn. McFadden cut it inside. Alvis was there defensively for Birmingham. And Martinez was fouled.
He was fouled. He was also triple teamed. Memphis were in a great position to win the ball back. Got just a little too aggressive. Bailed out Martinez, who was in some trouble.
Free kick for the Legion, taken rather quickly by their captain, Fonwell Cavito. And Alex Crognale in central defense. Once again tonight for the Legion. Those two guys by and large written in Sharpie this year for Birmingham, as they have been each of the past 3 seasons. It's been a Birmingham defense that has struggled at times this year. Of course, you could say the same about Memphis. This defensive back line has been up and down throughout 2023. Both sides have scored their fair share of goals, though. Memphis put up a 4 spot last time out against Hartford Athletic. Birmingham coming off what you could say is arguably their worst attacking contest of the year at RGV. Rio Grande Valley, a fortunate deflection, found their first goal early in the second half. Birmingham Couldn't do a whole lot in the attack to try to chase the game. Kelly was able to keep that in play right in front of his bench. Austin Paul a touch. Luis Fernando tracked back by Crognale, who got a piece of him. Free kick given.
Memphis getting a lot of players into the attack. When they do lose the ball, they're staying high and pressing and trying to win it back. So far, they've won a couple of set pieces in the attacking half of the field, which each time gives them the opportunity to bring the big boys forward and serve it on top of a goalkeeper who maybe hasn't seen as many set pieces as some others in the league.
Bit out of shooting range here for Aaron Malloy, who's trying to direct some traffic that's starting just outside the penalty area. Malloy chips it in, headed away by Crognale. So Martinez first to it, got there in front of Jelani Peters. Martinez tried to ping it across the park, but it was picked off. Graham Smith had it read. His pass a bit under hit, but Kelly to the rescue, keeps it down here for Memphis. Still work to be done. Crognale heads it away from the penalty spot. Collects the second ball as well, and maybe this starts a Legion break. Deben Awegbo, acres of space which to run with. Awegbo, the dynamic rookie, has come into his own this summer. And a big part of the Legion's success over the past couple of months. He finds Prosper Kasim. Overlapping run from Colin Smith, who hadn't quite gotten there. But he fights with Akeem Ward, and he wins Birmingham a corner.
He said that was going to be a fun matchup. The first 15 minutes or so have been played mostly at the Legion half, but this was a fun moment here where you got two quick guys. Colin Smith doing really well, banging it off of Akeem Ward, and gets the corner kick.
Corner brought to you by Chick-fil-A, the first of the night. While we were showing that replay, Alex Crognale and Leston Paulengoth getting a stern talking to by our referee this evening. In-swinging ball from Prosper Kasim, headed across, directed away from danger by Paul. So Memphis clear their lines, and everybody will reset as Mikey Lopez corrals it for the Legion. Quarter hour gone tonight here at Protective Stadium, and so far game plan has gone almost to perfection outside of missing an opening goal. Memphis 901 have controlled the tempo here through the first quarter hour.
I would think they're the happier of the teams right now. They've certainly had more of the ball. The game has been played more in the Legion half and really the Legion defensive third. But it is very early. Legion have done this before where they sit back, they figure out shapes and formations, and then they are so dangerous when they do go forward.
Free kick given to Birmingham Legion. Kavita and Fernando are locked up there. So Birmingham will restart things from their half. Didn't look like a ton in this challenge.
I would almost argue shoulder to shoulder. I'm sure that's what the Memphis coaches felt.
Restart things with their possession. Deben Awegbo working with Matthew Corcoran. Corcoran able to turn the corner. Good composure from the 17-year-old who's making his 21st start tonight. Alvis lays it in for Nwegbo. Nwegbo to the byline. His service blocked away. Fadden clears it as far as Rodrigo da Costa. Good work by Fanwell Kavita to win it off da Costa. Chance to play a bit more in the attacking half after they were under siege there the opening few minutes. Lopez, picture perfect to Kasim, his pass off the mark. Elvis quickly wins it back, goes back to the feet of Trevor Spangenberg. Fans Select is the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit www.us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select is the player's choice. Ward heads that one into his bench. It'll be a Birmingham throw. Christina Chambers is down below, the third member of our crew. Christina, I'm sure there's already been a little bit of chatter you've picked up on here tonight.
Yeah, you can tell that this game is definitely a rivalry game, not just for the players, but for the fans. Legion fans really getting into it, yelling at Memphis head coach Stephen Glass. He even turned around and gave a thumbs up when on that last foul there. So you can tell both these players, coaches, fans, they're into this game. They know what it means, and both these teams want those points at the end of this match.
Keem Ward heads that in for Kelly. His shot stopped by Trevor Spangenberg. Kelly didn't have much of an angle, but Spangenberg was quick to close it down. Right, Trevor Spangenberg hasn't played a ton lately, but he played quite a bit early in the year. In fact, he got the start in the U.S. Open Cup, Birmingham's win against Memphis. If you're a goalkeeper who's back in the mix like Spangenberg is tonight, you probably want an early touch or two to get yourself a feel of the game as Jelani Peters rolls it in for Fernando. Spangenberg out again. This time stops Fernando.
Much to your point, Trevor Spangenberg has been called on early. He's had to come up with a couple of really good saves. He's shown that he's going to be very aggressive coming out, closing down angles, and he's stuffed what looked to be two very good opportunities for Memphis. Goalkeepers definitely like to get an early touch, but I'm not sure they want to face one-on-ones like that.
Luis Fernando has been plenty dangerous, especially over the past couple of weeks. Aaron Malloy's corner whistles across and wide. Da Costa looked like he got a touch, but not enough to redirect it on frame.
He looked a little surprised that that ball got to him. He was only about 8 yards out. If he'd have made a little better connection, that could have been the first goal of the night.
Costa has already scored in this Birmingham this year. He just scored as a member of Tulsa, not as a member of Memphis. Birmingham Legion and Tulsa FC played all the way back in March. The blockbuster trades, if not the biggest trade in the USL this year. Rodrigo da Costa traded for Philip Goodrum as Tulsa and Memphis swapped their best attacking players. Rodrigo da Costa scored 3 times for Tulsa early in the year. He scored 8 times for Memphis since going to the Bluff City.
Was a rejuvenated player when he made that switch. Sometimes players just need a different environment, maybe a different voice in their ear. So far, it's been a good one for Da Costa and for Memphis.
Fernando trying to win that off Kavita, and he did. Kavita got just the slightest of touches. Much like we saw Colin Smith battle for a corner on one end, Luis Fernando does the same on the other. So corner here for Memphis, their second of the first 21 minutes. Costa leaves it for Aaron Malloy. It was low and driven. Cleared away by Gabriel Alves. Headed out of play by Da Costa to make sure Martinez couldn't start something quick. Birmingham fans, to stay up to date on all the latest Legion FC news, be sure to follow @BHM Legion on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Download the Legion FC app today. And that's @BHM Legion on social media. Legion FC app, your home for all things Birmingham Legion FC. Stephen Owegbo was dragged down.
Owegbo was brought down, but it was because of a great little pass from Matthew Corcoran. He's been very effective in defensive midfield tonight. Almost every time Legion have been able to get forward, it's come from the foot of Matthew Corcoran.
Peters dealt with that ball over the top, and Romig sends it back towards midfield. Matthew Corcoran, just 17 years old, known for his composure. He's made USL Team of the Week 3 times this year. He's on the Team of the Week bench, not this past week, but the week prior, for a splendid performance he had here at home against New Mexico. Brett hadn't had many touches early, couldn't quite dance through traffic, but Corcoran wins it back for the Legion. Couldn't quite thread it through over the top for Colin Smith. Corcoran in on the challenge, trying to win possession back, did. Oh, and how about the footbite from the center back, Alex Cronali. Some skills on display as finally it all comes to a halt. Stephen Hoigbo called for the foul.
Skills on display, but bodies going flying as well. Both teams completely committed. Starts with Corcoran on the floor. And Nico Brett, I'm not sure that there was much of a foul from him as much as perhaps just a loss of footing for Leston Paul, but either way, Memphis with the ball.
Cronali wins another ball in the air. Corcoran heads it aside. It'll be a Memphis throw. Just past the midway point of this opening 45 minutes here at Protective Stadium. Blake Gardner, Mike Ebbin, Christina Chambers, your crew here on this Wednesday night in Birmingham for the 14th overall meeting between Birmingham Legion and Memphis 901. Two sides trying to shore up their playoff spots in the Eastern Conference. Face each other twice over the next couple of weeks. Prosper Kasim cut it inside, thought he was held. Referee didn't agree. Fernando connects with DaCosta. Holds it up for Aaron Malloy. Out the other side, Aiden McFadden. Fans are plenty familiar with from his time with Atlanta United too. McFadden on loan from Atlanta to Memphis. He's made 8 straight starts since coming over. All he did was make the latest USL Championship Team of the Week with his splendid performance against Hartford. Memphis was running wild at AutoZone Park. Aiden McFadden had 3 shots, a couple of assists. He and Keem Ward had a field day. Their success coming in that second half. Colin Smith heads that away from Ward. Kasim keeps it in play. Well done by both of those. Kasim with a clearance in the direction of Nico Brett. Headed back in front by Graham Smith. McFadden brings it down. Fernando. Kelly keeps it moving. Sustained possession here for Memphis in the early going. 2 shots on target, both from tight angles, closed down quickly by Trevor Spangenberg. Line, DaCosta chasing, Cronali running stride for stride, got there first, cleared it away. Sends it a couple of rows deep. Memphis throwing the attacking third as McFadden searches for options. Kelly, lovely back heel. Fernando cuts it back one more time, and Colin Smith was there to cut it out.
Fernando has spent a lot of time out wide in past games. He's not used to playing centrally. He was in on goal and really should have taken the shot there. Instead, he looked to serve to a teammate, and it was just too crowded in front of the goal.
Colin Smith a bit slow to get up as we check out his defensive intervention here.
Great give and go, but he's in right there. If he hits it with his right foot, he's got a chance to score. Lovely back heel, but then just trying to be too cute in a very crowded box.
Smith maybe cramping up a little bit, still trying to stretch it out near the top of your screen. He played 67 minutes back on Sunday against RGV. Just 19 years old, he has been an instrumental part of Birmingham Legion this year. 22 starts for the teenager. Looks to be moving all right.
Sometimes you get a little knock, muscles tighten up for just a moment. They need a few seconds to relax and let you get back to a normal movement pattern.
Keem Ward closed down quickly by Smith. Peter switches things to Malloy. As is customary, plenty of touches for Aaron Malloy in this first half. Elvis clears away that pass.
One of the problems that Legion are having, they're used to having Juan Agudelo as their outlet. When they're under pressure, you could just float a big ball up anywhere near him, and he's going to find a way to bring it down and hold it up and get other players into the attack with him. With him not on the field tonight, you've got a little bit smaller front three, and you don't really have that true target player that you can just play balls into and get out of trouble.
Ward cuts it inside. His shot, played by Spangenberg, makes his third save of the night.
Ward cuts in on that right foot, tries to bend it into the far post, but Trevor Spangenberg does a great job of moving his feet and making a very comfortable save.
Last time these two teams played here, Keem Ward had an early shot from a similar position. Just 5-6 minutes into that Open Cup contest, hit the post. The game might have been different had Ward found the back of the net. Instead, that was the best chance Memphis had the entirety of that first half as Birmingham took a stranglehold of the game. Costa couldn't keep it alive. It's a Birmingham throw. Birmingham fans, it's your city. Now make it your club. Become a 2024 season member today. Season members get the most access and exclusive experiences. Check out all the new benefits and new options for membership like the 2024 Flex Pack. To become a supporting member of the Legion community, visit bhmlegion.com/2024tix. Again, bhmlegion.com/2024tix. So Martinez a little bit of space. Nico Brett lobs it over the top. Martinez is onside. Martinez gets there first. His shot just wide.
Great decision from Enzo Martinez. First, he played the ball and then just kept running. But this time he's in the box, and instead of looking for a teammate to play it off to, as the ball comes over, he says, I'm at 16 yards from goal, I'm having a go. Puts it just past the post, but good decision and good technique from Enzo Martinez.
Martinez has scored against Memphis each of the last couple of meetings. He's already in double digits in the goal column here in 2023. Alvis heads that away for a Memphis throw.
10 goals on the season for a player who plays in midfield is a lot of goals, but he hasn't found the back of the net for a couple of weeks now. Legion would love to see him break out of that slump and maybe create the opening goal this evening.
It's the first real dangerous attacking moment the Legion have generated tonight. Their first official shot. Didn't miss the post by much. Now perhaps Birmingham looking for more. Into Martinez. It's Prosper Kasim. Kasim right on the outside of the box. Ran into a bit of traffic. Now Memphis a chance to counter if they hurry. Fernando out wide. Alvis there to greet him. An early serve dealt with by Crognali. Vita heads this one aside, but only as far as Kelly. Keem Ward back on the ball. He's been heavily involved in this first half. Fernando, his first touch to nobody in particular. Trevor Spangenberg comes to clean it up. Fans, don't miss a minute of the action in 2023, whether your club is on the road or at home. Catch nearly every second of the USL Championship action on ESPN+. Come to the USL, La Liga, Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com. Shout out to everybody tuning in tonight on ESPN+. Glad to have you with us. Spangenberg, another calm collection.
Enzo Martinez thought he was going to go up and head that ball. All of a sudden realized it was going to carry over him. Did a little bit of a scorpion kick and played it back to Trevor Spangenberg. Not something I think you want to see midfielders doing in and around their own box, but it worked out very well this time.
Romick sends it high and over the top of Mikey Lopez. Costa trying to keep it in play, did so. Alex Cronali surveying his options, finds Nico Brett, who's drifted back for a touch. Brett couldn't quite get it over the top of the big Jelani Peters. What do you say Peters is listed at, 6'5"?
He's listed at 6'5". He's every bit of that. He's very athletic. He's a big guy to begin with, but he gets off the ground and he's got good wheels. He's a real handful and very hard to play balls over or behind him.
Corcoran in the direction of Smith. Keem Ward got ahead to it. Lopez right back to Ward. Who got the last touch of that? Prosper Gassim did. So a throw for Memphis. Former Birmingham Legion player Keem Ward, who spent the back half of 2019 in Birmingham. And plenty of space out the other side for Aiden McFadden. Gabriel Alves sprinting back to defend. McFadden takes this into the attacking third, into the penalty area. McFadden on his left. Spangenberg punches it over the top.
Fairly routine save for Spangenberg, but certainly a dangerous moment. Gabriel Alves maybe took the wrong angle, got beat to the inside. If that ball had been bent a little bit wider, could have been trouble.
27th save of the year for Trevor Spangenberg. Denies McFadden, gives Rodrigo da Costa and Memphis another corner. Malloy serves it in. Spangenberg, another huge stop. Vom Steeg on the doorstep, and Spangenberg turns him aside.
That was indeed a really big save. That should have been a goal for Memphis. Wide open, no pressure on him. Could let the ball come down and play it with the inside of his foot.
The service headed away by Lopez, only as far as Paul. Martinez tried to clear it. Memphis able to maintain possession. What an opportunity for Carson Vom Steeg. Just a few yards away from the net. Trevor Spangenberg with a reaction play to keep this game level. Another look at it here.
Vom Steeg hits this ball well as it comes over everybody. He's by himself coming inside. Somehow Trevor Spangenberg gets down to his left, gets a big paw out there and tips it up and over. Great save.
So the game stays level for now, and the stoppage is for an injured Memphis player. Looks like it is Vom Steeg. 24-year-old spent last year with Loudoun in his first campaign with Memphis. Making his second start in 6 games after he got a starting nod against Hartford on the weekend. And it looks like his night is going to come to a close. So a golden opportunity for Carson Vom Steeg goes wanting, and then he comes up hurting. And Memphis already has a change ready.
Can't imagine that he mishit that ball in some way that tweaked a knee or an ankle. It looked like he hit it quite cleanly. But then jogging back down the other end of the field, he just had a seat and decided the night was done.
So our first substitution of the night is an early one, brought to you by Papa John's. It's the Argentinian. Chimicaraga is ready. Man on loan from Lanús in Argentina. was only acquired about 3 weeks ago, making his third appearance as a member of Memphis. He replaces Carson Vom Steeg, who hopefully his apparent injury isn't too serious.
He did walk off under his own power, so we'll take that as a good sign and be hopeful that the young man is all right.
So Cariaga is on. Slots in for Vom Steeg as we resume things here in the 38th minute. Scoreless so far between Birmingham Legion and Memphis. Mikey Lopez, a through ball. Stephen Awegbo couldn't quite locate. It looks like a subtle change here for Birmingham as Nwegbo and Kassim have flopped flanks.
Both men have played on both sides of the field before. Maybe Coach Tommy Sohn just trying to switch things up a little bit and see if it somehow changes the flow of this game.
Fernando showing off his pace. Got around Corcoran, but his pass behind its intended target. Intercepted by Nwegbo. Stephen Awegbo, a tough challenge from Leston Paul. Free kick given.
Leston Paul arguing he got the ball, which I do think he got at least some of the ball. Referee calling the foul, I believe, for excessive force. This was a really hard challenge. Maybe a leg behind the play that brought down Nwegbo. Leston Paul has not met a lot of challenges he didn't want to get into, but that one looked like he stuck his trailing leg out and just brought Nwegbo down.
One of the veterans of the league against one of the rookies. Leston Paul called for the foul. Free kick brought to you by Birmingham Freightliner. Seaman Corcoran giving it a look. Corcoran lobs it up. Kavita got a head to it. It wasn't dealt with initially. Only cleared slightly by Kelly. Costa coming to help out. Chipped it around Crognale. Both Kavita and Crognale will retreat for the Legion as everyone regains their shape.
Legion still have 5 players forward. If they go over the top, they could have a chance. That's what Matthew Corcoran tried to do, just didn't quite get under it enough, and the ball goes straight to the keeper.
Now Birmingham back organized. Memphis with possession either side, trying to find a breakthrough here in the final 4+ minutes of this opening 45. Memphis had some chances early on in this first half. So far +6 in the shot department, 7-1. 5 of those shots have been on target, 1 a golden opportunity. Trevor Spangenberg pressed into action tonight for the injured Matt Van Oekel, has been up to the challenge so far this evening. McFadden, time to serve, a bending pull that's headed over the top.
Memphis have figured out the tactics of tonight's game. They've done a really good job of not just controlling the ball in terms of possession, but they've defensively put an awful lot of pressure on Legion and not let them get comfortable and play comfortably. Trevor Spangenberg, on the other hand, has figured out Memphis and made all the saves he's needed to make tonight. So far, he's been the difference in this game.
Good defending that time by Malloy. Takes it off Nico Brett. Birmingham fans, if you're looking to grab some of the season's Legion FC merch to wear to the next home game, check out all the new gear now at bhmlegion.shop. Again, that's bhmlegion.shop to make sure your fit is ready for Legion's next home game here at Protective Stadium. By the way, that home game's coming up this Sunday, September 24th at Protective Stadium against the Miami FC, 5:30 Central Time. Get your tickets to the match today at bhmlegion.com/tickets. Again, that's Birmingham Legion and the Miami FC. Kickoff pushback just a little bit from 4 o'clock to 5:30 Central Time here at Protective Stadium. For Birmingham, it'll be their third match in an 8-day window. Played this past Sunday in South Texas against RGV. Now tonight against Memphis. Martinez, Lopez, Nwigbo. Nwigbo's service cut out by Malloy. It is a corner though, the second of the night for the Legion, brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
Even when things aren't really going your way, when you're not having a lot of the ball, you haven't created a lot of chances, one set piece can be the difference. Here's an opportunity. Birmingham brings all the big guys forward, and I would expect Prosper Kassim will serve this in.
To the back post, headed away by Peters, out the other side. Another Chick-fil-A corner kick from the opposite flag. Gabriel Alves had half a mind to put it back in play quickly, thought better of it.
He wanted to, but all his teammates were yelling at him to wait. Matthew Corcoran, who's been serving all of these corners for the last half of the season.
He'll serve another because right before he threw this one into the mix, Alex Crognale getting singled out along with Jelani Peters.
Two small guys doing some serious battle in the box. Referee deciding he needs to put a hold to some things before it gets out of control.
Two tallest guys on the field, both listed at 6'5". Crognale, a pretty obvious set piece target here for the Legion. He scored a couple of times on corners this year. To the back post, Romick punches it away from trouble. Brett able to chase it down. Martinez, top of the box. Good job by Peters to clear it away. 45th minute here, Protective Stadium. Just a few moments left in this first half. Just a little bit of stoppage time coming to close this first 45. Word from Christina down below is 2 minutes of stoppage time is coming. Big diagonal plate, Colin Smith, first to it in the air, another Memphis throw. Ariaga couldn't quite keep it. That might have been Birmingham's. Instead, it's Memphis's. And it is confirmed, by the way. 2 minutes of stoppage time brought to you by UAB Medicine. That's all we will play to close this opening 45. Been a relatively free-flowing first half. The one major stoppage we had was the knock picked up by Carson Vom Steeg that knocked him out of this contest early. Long ball again, headed by Colin Smith. Smith sends it back towards Romick. Roy will collect. Just 1 minute minimum to be played to finish off this half. So far been even between Birmingham and Memphis. Hakeem Ward trying to change that. He's got a little bit of space. A serve across. Spangenberg got there. Fernando just a little bit late.
Spangenberg once again called on to make a big play. Whether he touches this ball or not, his presence means that it doesn't end up in the net. This is a terrific outside of the right foot service. Spangenberg's aggression, he does get a hand on it, but more importantly, he stops the attacker from feeling comfortable and throwing his body into that ball.
Hakeem Ward has been heavily involved in this first half. Nearly set up Luis Fernando with a big-time goal-scoring opportunity. Memphis have had their chances in this first half, but they have not found the back of the net, have not beaten Trevor Spangenberg. Birmingham have absorbed some pressure, but they have not given Memphis a goal just yet. And we will go scoreless into the halftime dressing rooms. Birmingham Legion 0, Memphis 0 through 45+ minutes here at Protective Stadium. Christina Chambers down below is with Birmingham Legion head coach Tom Sohn.
At the end of the first half, the score is
First half, but Trevor Spagenberg coming up with some huge saves for you. Defensively, how would you assess your performance there?
Well, I mean, the guys are working hard. We just got to do better with the ball. I think that's what we're looking at. So we're going to do some adjustments at half, but we need the ball, and that's what we're going to work on.
Offensively, how do you create more opportunities on the attack?
Well, you'll see that in the second half.
All right, Coach, thank you.
Thanks to head coach Tom Sohn. Obviously some work to do, some adjustments to be made in the halftime dressing rooms as we head into the break on level terms. Coming up at halftime, we got a chance to talk to Preston Tabor-Ditaka, the newest member of Birmingham Legion, get his thoughts on coming over from Las Vegas. Plus, we're going to look at some first half stats, some out-of-town scores, and some news across the USL Championship. That's all coming up when we return to Protective Stadium. Our coverage of USL Championship soccer here in Birmingham right after this.
Birmingham Legion zone, match fan of goal.
Have teamed up to kick your hunger with these exclusive Papa John's deals. When the Legion win, you win. Get a free large pizza with the purchase of a large pizza at regular menu price the day after a Legion win. Using code LEGIONWINS at papajohns.com. Hungry for better all season long? Enjoy 25% off your regular menu price order when you use code LEGION at papajohns.com. Don't miss out on these great deals at a participating Papa John's.
We are
Welcome back to our coverage of Birmingham Legion FC. Here with one of the newest Legionnaires, Preston Tabor-Ditaka. Preston, appreciate you taking a little bit of time, and I know Birmingham fans are excited to see you in Birmingham Legion colors over the past few weeks. What's it been like being a member of Birmingham Legion?
It's been a good feeling, you know, like coming in as a new player in a team that has been there all year, and I love the fact that the guys welcome me so well that I feel like I'm already in the team. I appreciate them for that too.
And everybody wants to play meaningful games down the stretch of the season right now. All of a sudden you're in the midst of a playoff chase. There's an intensity to that, right? I'm sure that feels good to know these last few 4, 5, 6 weeks down the stretch, you're playing for a playoff spot.
Like exactly what we're hoping for. Like at the start of the season, everyone wants to make it to the playoff, and then after that, you see where it takes us. And so the guys are pushing, we're pushing each other every day so we can go far in the playoffs. Against New Mexico, you and Nico Brett combined to score that goal. Take me through that play. What did you see? You know, like last year we played together, so hopefully he knows how I play. So, and we talked about it, like when I come in, he knows that if I have to 1v1, I'm good at it, and I'm definitely going to find any striker or him, and he knows where to be, just make the goal easy. And Nico obviously put his hands up, said, hey, I'm not celebrating against New Mexico. You talked about you guys playing together last year. Did you get a chance to catch up with some of your old teammates after the game? Yeah, we did, and we like respect for the team and how they treated us. We said we're not going to celebrate. If you saw it, I also put my hands up, like we actually give them respect, and you know, so we didn't want to celebrate against them. Well, that was one of the key plays in the game. You guys obviously get 3 points from that contest. I saw a clip after the game. You jumped up into the stand, said you wanted to bang on the drum a little bit. Are you a drummer? I love drums. So when I saw it, I was like, I had to take my chance, and thanks to the fans that let me do it. So, you know, I was happy. It sounded like pretty good rhythm. You got a little bit of rhythm? Yeah, I love it. You know, I mean, I had to just get in there. So like I said, you know, Birmingham is just like I've been here before. So I love the fact that the fans also welcome me in a good atmosphere after the game. What have you learned about this group since being here in Birmingham? You've been here, what, 2, 3 weeks now? What have you learned about the guys? It's a very competitive group, so everyone is pushing each other to get to the top. So that's something that's very important as a soccer player. You know, you want to be where you're being pushed to get to the next level of what you can do, because that's what you want to be. So I really like the fact that they're also pushing me, and I'm also pushing them too.
Last question. I saw you down in the tunnel before that New Mexico game. You had some headphones on. Looked like you were listening to pregame music. What's on your pregame playlist? What are you listening to?
I got a lot. I got a lot of African music, Mexican music, any music that I know that hypes me up.
Yeah,
I'm going for it.
Okay, good to know. Any artist I should listen to?
Burna Boy.
Okay.
Wizkid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'll add it to the Spotify playlist. Preston, appreciate the time. Best of luck the rest of the way, man.
Thank you.
More from our coverage of Birmingham Legion right after this.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
The iconic Vulcan statue here in Birmingham, Alabama, as we welcome you back to our coverage of the USL Championship Southern Harm Edition. Birmingham Legion, Memphis 901 FC. The rivalry renewed tonight. So far on level terms through 45 minutes. As we look at some of the other scores on this Wednesday night in the USL, what a game down in South Florida. Miami FC comes back to take out Lou City 4-3. Goodness gracious.
7 goals. Miami FC, a team that hasn't scored a ton this season, so certainly a very good night for them, and a game that a lot of teams in the Eastern Conference are happy to see Louisville drop some points.
Well, in a Miami game they had to have to stay within shouting distance of FC Tulsa. They're not eliminated yet, but they need to go on a winning streak here to have any hope at the 7 or 8 slot in the Eastern Conference playoffs. So a big result for them. Lou City go down tonight. Across the rest of the USL Championship, not often do you see a goalkeeper get named Player of the Week, but Christian Herrera was excellent against Orange County to help knock off their winning streak.
He really earned his Player of the Week honor here, made 8 big saves, kept the shutout in a 1-0 win. Lots of interesting news around the league, new ownerships, new CEOs. It's late in the season, clubs making some big changes.
No doubt about it. Obviously, Oakland Roots continue to add to their ownership group. Might hear a lot more Green Day over the pregame and postgame playlist at Oakland over the course of the rest of 23 and into 2024. So far here at Protective Stadium through a half, no goals scored between Birmingham and Memphis. Memphis really felt like they controlled the tempo early. They had some scoring chances, just couldn't put anything past Trevor Spangenberg.
Well, the stats do tell the story so far here. They've dominated in shots. They've dominated in possession. They've dominated in real chances to score. But as we heard Coach Sohn say to Christina right at the half, He's going to make some changes. He didn't want to give too much away, but clearly he's going to, at the very least, make a few tweaks and try and change the flow of this match.
He said his side needed to do better with the ball, needed to have more of the ball. We'll see if Birmingham Legion have a bit of a different tactic when we resume the second 45 minutes. Picture perfect night in downtown Birmingham so far tonight. We'll see who finds a breakthrough when we return to Protective Stadium right after this.
Our job is to keep your lights on. That's what you expect and deserve from Alabama Power. Our team works hard to prevent outages, but when they happen, we're on it. And we have some new tools to keep you informed. Visit Alabama Power's new outage map to see local outages and get repair time updates. Sign up to get personalized outage alerts by text or email for free. While we're out there getting your lights back on, we want you to have the latest information. That's our job, and we're grateful you trust us to serve you.
There's a beat in all of us. It drives us, it inspires us, and it pushes us through. It is there in preparation, it is there in battle, it is there in defeat and success. It's the engine, it's our guide. And this beat is my own. This beat is how I live. And this is how I hydrate. Body Armor Sport Water, hydration for athletes.
Welcome back to Birmingham, Alabama. The moon is out, the sky is clear, 75 degrees. What a night for soccer in the Magic City. We're through a half so far. Before we get the second half going, let's get back and look at the brightest moments from the first 45. The Southern Harm rivalry between Birmingham Legion and Memphis 901. Prosper Kasim and the Legion tried to get forward early. Mike just didn't have a whole lot going forward. Nothing that really troubled Drew Romick. Memphis, on the other hand, tested Trevor Spangenberg a couple of times.
Trevor Spangenberg called into action early and often, came out twice to make big one-on-one saves, and then had to make a couple of very good saves from distance.
Akeem Ward trying to trust Spangenberg, who caught it. So Martinez got forward as well. Really, that's the best look Birmingham has had offensively tonight. Aiden McFadden tried Trevor Spangenberg as well. But really, the best scoring chance Memphis had in that first 45 minutes came from Carson Vom Steeg.
This was the one you thought had to score. He lost his man wide open, hit it cleanly, but Trevor Spangenberg comes up with a big save.
And Vom Steeg had to leave the game shortly thereafter, as Memphis surely thought they were going to have a breakthrough there. Trevor Spangenberg back into the starting 11 tonight in place of Matt Van Oekel has been up to the challenge so far this evening. As both sides have made their way out of the halftime dressing rooms, ready to get this second 45 minutes underway. And it looks like before the second half gets going, Birmingham is going to make their first change of the night. Number 9, Juan Agadello has grabbed his shirt. It looks like he is ready to check in. Agadello second on the team in minutes played this year. He's the team leader in duels won. He's made 28 starts. He hasn't come off the bench much. He has played such a big part of Birmingham in the attack this year. So rare to see him not in the starting 11 tonight, although he did play quite a bit in Rio Grande Valley on Sunday. And he will take out Nico Brett to start this second half. So substitution brought to you by Papa John's. Birmingham fans, use code LEGION for 25% off your regular menu price online order at papajohns.com. And it's Agadello for Brett to get this second half going.
Nico Brett, the team's leading scorer, giving a smile to the cameras. I'm sure he's disappointed to be on the bench for the second half, but he really wasn't involved. Legion couldn't find him with the ball. Juan Agudelo, more of a true target player that you can play balls up to. I'm not surprised that that was one of the changes that Coach Tommy Sohn made. It's really more about tactics than performance by any one player.
Plus, Nico Brett played all 90 minutes on Sunday against RGV. Had just 7 touches in that first 45 minutes, according to Opta. So Agudelo for Brett is the change for Birmingham Legion as this second half gets underway here at Protective Stadium. Another edition of this Southern Harm rivalry match brought to you by Warren Averett tonight. Both Birmingham and Memphis looking for a breakthrough. Significant points up for grabs, made even more so that Louisville City has dropped points tonight in South Florida. Both sides have now made a change as Agudelo gets his first touch. Agudelo working with Mikey Lopez. Lopez hit the referee square in the chest. Credit to Matthew Corrigan, he took it like a champ.
Had no chance to get out of the way of that ball. It was chest height from 5 yards away. Referees make a real effort to make sure they're not involved in the play, but nothing he could do about that one.
So Corrigan drops it. Birmingham start their attack once more. Martinez tried to play it off his chest in the direction of Colin Smith. Memphis wins their first throw of the night.
One of the changes I thought we might see is Legion stepping up and pressing a little higher, not letting Memphis have a rhythm and feel comfortable. We'll see if that's what they do here.
Costa sends that out of play. It'll be a Birmingham Legion throw. Birmingham played against the ball the majority of that first half. Possession number for the Legion, under 40% for the first stanza. Christina Chambers talking to head coach Tom Sohn. He said he expected that to change in this second 45. Juan Agudelo trying to make an early impact. Kasim, an early serve. Romig makes a clean catch.
Prosper Kasim trying to serve it in with his right foot. It's not his preferred foot. That one just floats into the goalkeeper's arms. We are getting to see Juan Agudelo playing as that true central striker, being the target player that he loves to be, and he's gotten a lot of touches very early in this half.
Martinez with a chance perhaps. Leaves it for Kasim. First time, Kasim scores! Birmingham have a breakthrough early into the second half. Prosper Kasim gives the Legion the lead.
Juan Agudelo, the play starts with his hold-up play and his combination play. Coach Tommy Sohn has to feel very good about that change right now. It's hard to take your leading scorer off the field, but sometimes you make decisions that you think are right for the team. And this one pays off in a hurry.
Agudelo started the move. Martinez sets up Kasim, and that lethal left foot strikes again. Goal brought to you by AT&T gives Birmingham the advantage.
Great ball, perfectly weighted, and Prosper Kasim goes near post as the goalkeeper leans to his far post, thinking that's where Kasim is headed. Slots it home for a fairly simple finish.
The first shot on target all night long for the Legion comes early in the second half, and Prosper Kasim makes it count. Birmingham Legion in front of their rivals Memphis 901 here at Protective Stadium. And Memphis, for all their possession, all their scoring opportunities throughout that first half, they came up empty, and Birmingham capitalized on their first big scoring chance of the night. What a response from head coach Tom Sohn's team. He said something would change in the second half. It took 3 minutes and change for something to change.
He was very coy with what he said to Christina Chambers at the half, but clearly hinted that he had something up his sleeve. I'm not sure even he expected it to pay off in 3 minutes.
On the other side of things, Christina, you got a chance to catch up with Coach Sohn before the half. You tried to catch Coach Glass to come out and start the second half, but sounded like he didn't have a whole lot to say, or at least to say to us.
That is exactly right. I asked him if I could ask him a few questions, and he said, no, I'm good. You can just tell that this is a business trip for Memphis 901 FC. You can tell in the way that they're carrying themselves on the field and on the bench, and Coach's interaction with the Legion fans behind him. It's been very intense down here on the field, so you can definitely hear in his voice and his declining to comment that this is definitely just a business trip.
Thanks, Christina. Appreciate your efforts. Does that mean we get to make up quotes for Coach Glass here to start the second half?
I think the fans could come up with a couple for him. He may have a few things to say afterwards, especially to his own team if this scoreline holds. They had a lot of the ball, they created a lot of chances, but they did not finish those chances. And when you leave a good team hanging around close, you're giving the opportunity for something to happen. And so far, it's been happening in the second half.
Last time these two teams played was in Memphis late in the year at AutoZone Park, and game script was pretty similar to what we've seen so far tonight. Memphis had a bulk of the ball, bulk of the chances early, actually scored in that one. Birmingham had almost no possession, by and large the majority of that game, but took each of their scoring chances with aplomb, scored 4 times. Out to one of their 2 wins against Memphis a year ago. Similar vibes tonight. Memphis with a lot of the ball, a lot of the early chances, couldn't cash in this time around. Prosper Kassim scores for the 2nd time in the league this year, his 4th goal across all competitions. He had a couple in the U.S. Open Cup run as well for the Legion, including the game winner against Charlotte FC that allowed Birmingham to advance in that tournament. Over the top for Akeem Ward. Flag stays down. Ward cuts it back inside. Colin Smith fights to get back in front. Cariaga fires. Spangenberg saves. McFadden on the rebound, scores. Flag stays down. Memphis find an equalizer. And Birmingham Legion's lead doesn't last long. The floodgates opening to start this second half.
Played 45 minutes with no goals. We've played 7 minutes with 2. We knew the energy was going to be there from both teams. We knew the fighting spirit was going to be there from both teams. They say goals change everything. This match has changed and changed back. We're back to even, but there's certainly been a lot of excitement very quickly.
Goal brought to you by AT&T. Cariaga's shot started things.
Another good save from Trevor Spangenberg. Pushes the ball wide, but just too much room. A fairly easy finish puts Memphis back even in this match.
Aiden McFadden's first goal as a member of Memphis 901. What an impact he's made since coming over on loan from Atlanta. Had a couple of assists on the weekend against Hartford. Now he finds the back of the net. Memphis do cash in one of those scoring opportunities. Costa wanted a whistle, didn't get one. It's a Birmingham throw.
Again, Juan Agudelo making himself available to keep possession.
Martinez on the turn, was held back by Paul, got it through to Lopez. Peters clears it out, and now the whistle does blow for the initial foul on Paul.
This is a look at the goal from a few minutes ago. Great strike and great following up. McFadden just quicker to the ball than anybody else. Hammers it into the roof of the net.
So a set piece opportunity here for the Legion as Leston Paul was called for the foul. Corcoran serving over the top. Bodies colliding. And a foul and free kick given, and a yellow card has been shown to Alex Crinali, brought to you by Rubio Law Firm.
This game has gotten heated very fast. I don't know if we'll get a look at this or not. Looked like players just running for the ball, got tangled up, but the referee clearly saw something, gave him a foul and a yellow card. There is a little bit of a kick out there from Alex Crinali, trying to free up Fanuel Cavita at the back post. I don't think it was malicious trying to hurt anybody, just trying to create an opening for his teammate to get loose in the box.
So our first yellow card booking of the night belongs to Alex Crinali. So Romick sends it deep to restart things. 55 plus minutes deep. Second half has started with a bang on one end, bang on the other. After a goalless first half, Kasim in the 48th, McFadden in the 52nd. And all the points continue to hang in the balance tonight. Did Ward keep that in play? Referee says yes. Peters goes all the way back to Romick. Fans, if you can't watch the match, turn on Sirius XM FC 157. North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access, Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock Eastern. Plus your live matches for the USL, MLS, English Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the SXM app. McFadden wanted to throw that in quickly to Fernando, but referee Matthew Corrigan was pointing him a good 6, 7, 8 yards further back. McFadden couldn't keep that in play. It'll be a Legion throw this time around. Kasim got there, but started in an offside position. The flag goes up. Goal scorer Prosper Kasim. First goal of the night for the Legion. And McFadden, a quick response. What does the final hour, make it half hour plus, have left in store tonight? Set off the open. Memphis a chance to lock up their playoff spots with a win here tonight. Wins have been hard to come by and large, in the Southern Harm rivalry. For Memphis 901, just 3 wins in 13 meetings coming into the night. The Legion with 6 wins to go along with 4 draws. McFadden was a bit slow to get up after that challenge. Memphis throw. Before that, referee talking with his 4th official, gesturing somewhere, either towards the stands or towards the Legion bench. Not sure what's happening here.
This break does give McFadden a few moments to walk off what looks to me to be a dead leg. Caught a knee to the thigh and just tightened up on him. It's a fan that they're sending off. We'll call it a fan. It might be president of the club, Jay Heaps.
So an interesting stoppage there. Hadn't seen that yet this year. Now the game allowed to resume. Good work by Agudelo once again in a tight space. Martinez looking for Kasim. Peters under duress. He'll dribble himself out of trouble. Send this into the 4th row.
Birmingham Legion have definitely stepped and pressed higher and earlier than they did in the first half. They've caused some turnovers, and they just caused another one deep in the corner.
Smith puts it high into the air. Romig thought better of coming off his line. Paul with an acrobatic clearance to the feet of DaCosta. Fernando on the run. Alves there first. Spangenberg his own long serve. Once again, it's Juan Agudelo. Heavily involved since coming off the bench. Almost played deep into Egbo through. Romig very quick off his line this time around.
Juan Agudelo has had more touches in this half than any of the other Legion players the entire game. He's been involved at the front end of the field, and he's been the main creator so far.
Fernando a full head of steam, finds Rodrigo DaCosta. Costa, Akeem Ward, first time serve to the back post. Nwagbo got there in front of McFadden. It'll be a Memphis corner, their fourth of the night.
Even Nwagbo looks a little frustrated with himself for giving up the corner, but I don't know that he had anything else he could possibly do there. The ball had to be played away from danger, and that meant the only way it could go was towards the end line.
Memphis created a big scoring chance in a corner in the first half, could not convert. DaCosta once again leaves it for Malloy. Grinali heads it away from trouble. Nwagbo and Kasim trying to start the counter the other way. Martinez on the run. Dangerous work created by the Legion. Akeem Ward had to put out the fire.
Enzo Martinez is quick, but Akeem Ward is a rocket.
So Birmingham will have to reset after this throw. Fans, USL is celebrating Hispanic Latino Heritage Month with stories, events, and more, bringing to life this special celebration across the league. Go to uslsoccer.com/Hispanic-heritage to learn more. I believe Birmingham Legion are having their own celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month coming up this Sunday here at Protective Stadium against Miami FC. Again, a game that kicks off at 5:30 Central Time here at Protective Stadium this upcoming weekend. Lopez keeps that moving to Juan Agudelo. Ward will throw this back in play for Memphis. 63rd minute. Glad to have you with us tonight. Gardner, Mike Gebman, Christina Chambers, your crew, whether you're watching here in Alabama on My 68 or across the country on ESPN Plus. Birmingham pick up the pressure, win the ball back quickly again. Lopez working with Juan Agudelo. Gabriel Alves getting a touch as well. Corcoran. To Alves. Alves a bending serve. Romig, a clean catch.
I think he was actually trying to bend that ball into the run of Juan Agudelo. Just got under it and it floated over everybody. Legion certainly playing much more in the attacking third than they did in the first half.
Fernando on the turn. Arriaga connects with Fernando. A foul there committed by the goal scorer Prosper Kasim. Mike Birmingham absorbed a lot of pressure in the first half. Hasn't necessarily been the case in the second half. As Colin Smith tried to commit the foul, did. Memphis will have another free kick from a pretty good spot created there by Jeremy Kelly. Mike, Memphis have had quite a bit opportunistic set pieces so far in this game tonight.
They've had a lot of set pieces. There have been a lot of fouls. There have been a few corner kicks. But this game, especially second half, has gotten more physical. And no question that Legion have been doing a little bit more of the fouling so far.
Back it goes to Malloy, who's had to sink a little bit deeper since Vom Steeg exit due to injury in that first half. Ward dispossessed by Colin Smith, tried to chop it back. Both players went to ground. It's a free kick given. And a yellow card shown to Colin Smith, brought to you by Rubio Law Firm.
Colin Smith started with the ball. Felt he got fouled, but then got called for tripping. I think the yellow card is really an issue of persistent fouling. That's maybe the third or fourth just in the second half alone for Colin Smith.
So Smith and Cronulla both have been booked for the Legion. Malloy might serve that. Instead he finds Ward, gets it back. All the big bodies forward for Memphis. It'll be Ward towards the top of the box. Peters got a touch. McFadden's onside. McFadden has his shot deflected away by Alvis.
Gabriel Alvis with a big intervention. That ball looked like it had eyes for the corner of the net. Good first touch and driven. But Gabriel Alvis gets in the way and deflects it out of bounds.
Another corner here for Memphis. It's been DaCosta setting up Malloy most of the night from this flag. DaCosta straight away this time, headed over the top. Aiden McFadden has been quite the danger man for Memphis so far in this second half. Couldn't quite put that on frame as a Memphis player is down. And that's Jelani Peters.
It's been a physical game. It's been especially physical on set pieces. Jelani Peters and Alex Cronulla have really gone at it tonight. I didn't see what happened on this occasion. I don't know if it was head-to-head or just bodies getting tangled up. But Peters clearly feeling the effects of something.
So Peters still down in the penalty area at the moment, but slowly getting to his feet. Guy the Birmingham fans plenty familiar with. Spent his last 2 seasons in Pittsburgh. Was a part of that wild playoff game a season ago between Birmingham and Pittsburgh in this building. Peters made his penalty kick in the 9th round of that game. He's slowly making his way off. Looks like he'll be okay. 68 minutes off early. Visitors hoping they're not going to be forced into a second change at the back. Fantasy Football 2024 is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play, so download it now.
Jelani Peters has come right back on, so good to see him back in the action.
So Memphis back to full strength. They won possession back relatively short order. Fernando back to the feet of Leston Paul. Paul around traffic. Akeem Ward. Ward got it around Kasim. His shot high and wide.
Akeem Ward has been a real challenge for Colin Smith. Both men very quick, but Akeem Ward has been able to find a little bit of space and a little bit of joy to get some shots off tonight. That one just bending and curling wide.
Memphis working quickly again. Kelly. Fernando couldn't find his way around Alex Cronulla. Even Wegmo off and running. Absorbs a bit of a body push there from Cariaga. Free kick given. Cariaga didn't necessarily agree with the call, but it was enough contact to warrant a whistle. More than 20 minutes to go tonight. 1-1 our score. Good work by McFadden to play that off Nwegbo.
First half, Matthew Corcoran was the one Birmingham Legion player that was getting on the ball and was creating some things with his passing ability, but he's barely had a touch in this second half. Memphis has been playing him a little bit tighter.
Martinez couldn't quite get it around Leston Paul. Vito will let it bounce a couple of times. By the way, Birmingham getting their second change of the night ready. Guy we heard from at halftime, Preston Tabordi-Taka, is set to come on the next stoppage for the Legion. And a very reckless challenge there from Peters to take out Kasim. It's an immediate yellow card. Brought to you by Rubio Law Firm. Enzo Martinez not happy about the challenge.
Nor the yellow card. Legion players saying that it was studs up and high. The referee very quick to give the yellow. Foot is on the floor, but it's a long slide from a big man. As he goes through the ball, no question, he catches Prosper Kasim.
So yellow card brought to you by Rubio Law Firm. Peters has been booked, and that's going to be all for Prosper Kasim tonight. Birmingham Legion's goal scorer will make way for Preston Itaka here in the 72nd minute. Substitution brought to you by Papa John's. Birmingham fans, don't forget you can use code LEGION for 25% off your regular menu price online order at papajohns.com as Kasim receives a nice ovation.
The quiet assassin has left the field. Lightning Bolt has stepped onto the field. We'll see if he can add a little electricity to the attack here.
Alvis looking over the top for Agadello, shielded well by Malloy. Preston Itaka, the newest Legionnaire on for Birmingham, making his 6th appearance for Birmingham since coming over from Las Vegas. This has been his role, the second half energy man. Before Alvis sends this back into play, the referee has stopped things, and he's going to talk to somebody over on the Memphis bench. Second stoppage we've had from our referee Matthew Corrigan tonight. No card or anything, just a stern warning and a talking to some of the Memphis assistants down below. This finds Crognale. Birmingham break the pressure. Colin Smith trying to get Preston Itaka his first touch. Just passed just a little wide. Christina Chambers down below, third member of our crew. Christina, any idea what that last stoppage was about?
Yeah, pretty intense. Both sides actually, but Memphis FC assistant coaches coming out saying a few choice words against some of the other assistant coaches on Legion side. So some choice words, you could tell that the refs were a little irritated by it and gave him a little talking to. This isn't the first time he's said some choice words on the sidelines tonight.
Alvis clears away the trouble for now as Memphis continue the attack. McFadden, top of the box, leaves it for Kelly. His shot well off the mark, but it was deflected over the top. It'll be a Memphis corner. Matthew Corrigan remains down behind the Corcoran, remains down behind the play. It's a bit slow to get up.
If you want to know how important this game is to everybody, count the number of bodies that have been sprawled on the field throughout the night. You've got assistant coaches getting yelled at by referees. We've seen fans / presidents of the club being sent into the stands. This game would have been hard to referee if it was just another regular season match, but it's a rivalry. It's important for the playoffs. It's late in the season.
All sorts of ping-ponging in and around a very crowded penalty box. Agadello tried to clear but couldn't get it around Cariaga. McFadden gets it back, still McFadden. Cariaga back to Malloy. Memphis have regained their shape. Peters forced backwards to the feet of Drew Romig. Approaching the final quarter hour tonight. Everything to play for between these two Southern rivals. Cronali got there but couldn't clear it away from danger. DaCosta collected. Less than Paul. DaCosta. Graham Smith getting forward. McFadden able to bring it down. Kelly back to Luis Fernando. Memphis deliberate in their build-up here. This is much of what we saw in the first half. Memphis enjoying possession, trying to pay it off into a scoring chance. Cronali up to win another ball in the air, wouldn't have mattered. The flag was up for offside. Referee didn't stop things. Instead, told the linesman to put the flag down, let play continue. Who creates the moment of magic for Memphis or Birmingham here down the stretch?
That is the question. And will it be a moment of magic, or will it be that one big mistake that costs your team? Players are tired. There's a lot on the line. Emotions are strained.
Cariaga into the mix. His shot deflected wide. Or did it take a deflection? No, just a mishit from the Argentinian.
I think his body was going one way and the ball was going the other, and he just couldn't make a clean connection. He's falling away from it as he swings. But a fairly good opportunity from Memphis.
Spangenberg sends everybody away. A Birmingham goal kick. Birmingham fans, to stay up to date on all the latest Legion FC news, be sure to follow at BHM Legion. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and download the Legion FC app today. Again, that's at BHM Legion on social media. Legion FC app, your home for all things Birmingham Legion FC. Quite the tussle in midfield between Kelly and Corker, and some shoving after the play as well, as Memphis is given the free kick.
Definitely doing some jawing back and forth, but it looked to me like both of them had a little smile on their face and they were enjoying the moment as well.
Free kick for Aaron Malloy in Memphis. Peters looking over the top for Kelly. Bounced in front of him, who was offside anyways. Trevor Spangenberg getting the start in goal tonight for Birmingham Legion. 32-year-old has made some big stops. He's only been beaten once tonight. Both sides have found a second half goal. Now both sides searching for a second. Could perhaps lock up 3 points. Aiden McFadden has been all over the place for Memphis in this second half, especially in the attacking third. Rodrigo DaCosta. Tracked well by Mikey Lopez.
McFadden would not have been the player I would have said that Birmingham Legion need to worry about. There's a lot of very good attacking pieces. Malloy is a great passer of the ball. Acosta scores goals. Luis Fernando is very dangerous on the dribble and likes to wander all over. But having said all that, Aiden McFadden has seen a lot of the ball. He's scored a goal. He's had a couple of other near misses. He has been one of the key danger people for Memphis so far tonight.
Ando dribbling himself out of trouble and perfectly weighted on a hop to Akeem Ward. His serve top of the box dealt with by Cronali. Be another Memphis throw here. By the way, Birmingham fans, don't forget you can go to @BHM Legion on Twitter/X immediately following the final whistle to cast your vote on who you thought earned man of the match honors tonight. Again, that's at BHM Legion. To cast your vote immediately following the final whistle here in Birmingham this evening. Good defensive work by Corcoran, keeping Kelly away from it. Martinez wants to start the counter. Agudelo, what a touch to get him around Malloy. Still one, Agudelo. Finally, it's Leston Pohl to the rescue. Fernando taken off it by Alvis. He went to ground, he won the free kick. Kavita got a piece of him.
We have 10 minutes left in this match, plus a little bit of stoppage time. A little bit of a bump, maybe a hand on the shoulder. Some excellent acting and a foul call.
Free kick taken short. Malloy starts things once again for Memphis. 9+ minutes to go. 14th edition of the Southern Harm rivalry. This will be a Birmingham throw as DaCosta couldn't track it down. Birmingham fans, it's your city. Now make it your club. Become a 2024 season member today. Season members get the most access and exclusive experiences. Make sure you can check out all the new benefits and new options for membership like the 2024 Flex Pack. Become a supporting member of the Legion community. Visit bhmlegion.com/2024 Some applause down below as Birmingham are prepping another change tonight. Tyler Pasher is getting set to come on for Birmingham, and it has been quite some time since the Legion faithful have gotten a chance to see Tyler Pasher play. He's been out quite a bit with injury. Preston Itaka pushing forward for the Legion. Lopez just off the mark looking for Enzo Martinez.
Tyler Pasher, one of the truly elite players in the league. A candidate for league MVP before he went down with injury. It's been a long time since he's been on the field. Legion fans know that he can be a difference maker. He also has electric pace along with his magic left foot.
Kelly for Fernando. Fernando couldn't get around Kavita. Trying to turn around Lopez. McFadden was offside.
We're going to see the substitution happen now. Normally you'd think that this would be one of the front three coming off. It looks like it will be Diba Nwegbo who comes off. Tyler Pasher comes on. Two of the fastest players in the entire league playing up front for Birmingham Legion now. Preston Itaka with his electric pace, and now Tyler Pasher, who I think will slide into more of an attacking midfield role where he can maybe have a little more touches on the ball and a little more room to run.
So Tyler Pasher is on for the first time since late July when he came off injured at Louisville City. Birmingham have been without his services over the last 10 games, but he's back in the mix here late against Memphis. Itaka on the run, not going to beat Romick to it.
Looks like Enzo Martinez has been pushed out wide. That leaves the attacking midfield completely to Tyler Pasher.
Aldis looking long. Itaka is going to get there in front of Jelani Peters. Work to do for Peters. Preston Itaka cuts it inside. Around Ward, leaves it for Lopez. Enzo Martinez. Martinez picks up his head. Thought about serving, thought better of it. Trying to go across the park to Cronulla. It's picked off. Memphis have numbers. 3-on-2 back the other way. DaCosta leads the charge. His pass just a bit too out in front of Kelly, who has to run it down. Kelly, an outswinging service beyond DaCosta.
Looked for a moment that Memphis had a 2-on-2 break. They managed to turn it into a 3-on-7.
Wasted moment for both sides there as the game may get stretched here late. Both sides pushing for all 3 points tonight. Kelly back from Fernando. Carriaga out wide DaCosta. DaCosta trip by Smith. Free kick given just outside the penalty area.
Colin Smith just a little too aggressive on that play. You can see the speed at which he's running. Can't slow himself down. And just catches the foot of Rodrigo DaCosta. Very dangerous free kick just on the side of the 18-yard box. This ball's going to get into the danger zone very quickly.
So Malloy's serve is driven way over the top of everybody. Goodness. Now Memphis will make a change. Rashawn Dolly is coming on. As the second Memphis substitution of the night. Rodrigo DaCosta will make way. So Dolly, who's been Memphis's super sub most of the year, comes off the bench for the 19th time. Veteran Rodrigo DaCosta is taking his time before coming off. Again, substitution brought to you by Papa John's.
It tells you that Memphis is comfortable, maybe even happy with the draw here. They know that this point puts them in 4th place in the Eastern Conference, at least for the moment, gives them the home field advantage in the playoffs. Birmingham Legion, on the other hand, really want these 3 points. They'll probably take some risks trying to get a goal late here that maybe changes the complexion of everything.
Pasher called for the foul there against Leston Paul, who went to ground, sending that forward. Leston Paul got up with a smile on his face. Tyler Pasher showing the referee what he thought was a bit of simulation there from Paul.
Tried to recreate the action with his body language. Either way, Memphis free kick.
McFadden just able to keep that in play, but only found Fanuel Kavita. And so Martinez on the turn. Couldn't get it through to Juan Agudelo. 88th minute here, Protective Stadium. Just a few moments plus stoppage time remaining tonight. Rashawn Dolly, his first touches since coming on.
Have been very good on the road this year. Typically, a draw is considered a good point on the road. Coming into tonight's match, they were 6 wins, 3 losses, and 5 ties on the road. Most teams would be very happy with that as their home record.
Dolly on the turn, around Smith. Carriaga tried to get it back to Dolly. Spangenberg, a collection. Kavita ushered it back to his goalkeeper. Birmingham fans, Birmingham Legion FC's next home game just a few days away. Sunday, September 24th at Protective Stadium against Miami FC, coming up at 5:30 Central Time. Get your tickets to the match today at bhmlegion.com/tickets. Again, that's Birmingham Legion and Miami FC coming up this weekend. Another yellow card shown, this time to Juan Agudelo. Brought to you by Rubio Law Firm. Aaron Malloy is a bit slow to get up.
Malloy has taken a beating tonight. He's been fouled, he's been tripped, he's been pushed. He's caught in a hand or forearm to the face earlier in the match. This one, Juan Agudelo, a little frustrated with him just blocking his path. Malloy goes down as if he'd been kicked. I don't know if well, there is, you can see it there. A little bit of a kick out, a little bit of frustration from Juan Agudelo, and that will draw the yellow card nearly every time.
Malloy restarts play to Aiden McFadden. Closed down by Gabriel Alves. Fernando taken off it by Alves, and he was the last man to touch it as well. It'll be a Legion throw, and it's 4 minutes of stoppage time brought to you by UAB Medicine. That will close out tonight.
4 minutes is definitely enough time to create a chance or two. Legion are going to need to go quickly. They're going to have to show some urgency getting forward.
Gonzalo couldn't quite find his way around Jeremy Kelly, who did the work defensively. Romig sends it deep. Kelly wins the header, and a handball there from Cariaga brings things to a halt. Lopez is going to leave that for Corcoran to make sure the Legion can get organized, perhaps get a few more numbers forward. Birmingham looking for their 8th home win this year. Running out of time to find a game winner. Now into the 2nd minute of stoppage time. Gabriel Alves hounded by Luis Fernando, helped out by his captain Fanuel Cavida. Ball from Cavida. Preston Itaka, Colin Smith on the other flank. Itaka an early serve, just a bit beyond Agudelo. And Memphis is going to make one more change before the night comes to a close. Ron Kisiedu, 24-year-old from the Ivory Coast, is coming on as he works his way back to full fitness. Played just the last minute of the Hartford contest after missing 3 straight. He'll play in stoppage time here tonight. Now come on for Luis Fernando, who had a relatively good showing in this one this evening.
He gets a big pat on the back from his coach. He played a really big role and was dangerous all night long.
So Kisiedu on. Past the midway point of our minimum of 4 minutes of stoppage time. Throw here for the Legion. And finds its way to Agudelo, trying to touch his way around Malloy. Malloy got there. Paul clears it. Alves wastes no time trying to get it back in play. Lopez. Sent away by Kisiedu. His first touch goes back to the feet of Fanuel Cavida. Is there one more scoring chance left in this game tonight? Memphis have had the bulk of them, to be fair. There hasn't been much for either side for the last quarter hour. Tyler Pasher getting some run now. Lopez tried to backheel it through to Itaka. Ward ushering it to the corner flag. Did well to find a white shirt. Kisiedu's pass behind Kelly. Intercepted by Corcoran. Approaching the final few seconds of the night. Preston sent away by Smith. Preston Itaka back on it. Took a wicked redirection through traffic. Romig saw it most of the way, able to collect. Aiden McFadden bombing forward for Memphis 901. Direct serve towards Dolly, and a foot race with Crinali. Good work by Crinali, shoulder to shoulder. And will that be all, or is there time for one more press forward for the Legion? Agudelo from Corcoran. Martinez for Lopez. McFadden does the job defensively, and that is full time. The point shared in Southern Harm tonight here at Protective Stadium. Two early second half goals. Birmingham first, then Memphis. Neither side could find anything else. And both teams will walk away with a point apiece in the first of two late season matchups in this rivalry. And Mike, given what we saw in that second half, a point apiece feels fair.
Certainly in the second half, it does feel fair. Memphis will feel like they let this one get away early because they had the chances to finish this game. They could have had 2 or 3 in the first 15, 20 minutes of the game. Tommy Sohn will feel good about the changes he made and the impact that had in the second half. Memphis will feel good that they've moved up into 4th place in a home field spot for the playoffs, at least for the moment. Birmingham will feel like they need some points pretty quickly in the next couple games.
Our final score tonight, Birmingham Legion 1, Memphis 901 FC 1 here at Protective Stadium. Down below, head coach Tom Sohn is with our Christina Chambers.
Guys, you said we were going to see some changes in the second half. You got off to a quick start. What kind of adjustments did you make?
Oh, just, Juan brings a different dimension to his hold-up play, and that's what we were lacking in the beginning. And the goal was quality, but we needed a little bit more of that in the first half. Then you want to get that lead early. So disappointing that we come out with a tie, but effort was there from the guys.
How do you guys regroup heading into this last few stretches?
Well, we're going to see them again at their place. So, that's always been a rivalry, and we're looking forward to playing against them again. But one at a time, and we just got to keep digging out points.
All right, Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks to head coach Tom Sohn. His Birmingham Legion get 1 point off of Memphis tonight. As he said, these two teams have another meeting coming up in just a few days. But for now, our final score here, Memphis 1, Birmingham 1. We'll wrap things up when we return to Protective Stadium right after this.
I walked into Chick-fil-A completely outnumbered. My husband was away at military leadership training, and the kids were doing this. Miss Carol brought me water, something to eat, and then before I knew it, she was tying Margot's shoes up and carrying her out to the car.
It always makes me feel good if that helps somebody.
I went in the next day because I just wanted to make sure she knew how much I appreciated her help.
I'm just so glad there was somebody there when she really needed it.
That's gonna go on my refrigerator.
And those that see the perfect wave.
Back here on the field at Protective Stadium in Birmingham, Alabama, 1-1 the final score tonight. Memphis 901 FC midfielder Bruno Lapa catching up with some of his former teammates. Trevor Spangenberg signing autographs. He made a couple of big stops tonight to keep Memphis away for the entirety of the first half. Couldn't keep them away for the entirety of the second. As we look at our final match stats tonight, points shared between Birmingham Legion and Memphis 901 FC. Memphis does move up into 4th with that 1 point tonight. 17 shots, Mike. Memphis is going to feel like they should have gotten more from this one.
Memphis is going to be disappointed that you take 17 shots, only find the net once. Birmingham has to look at it a little bit the opposite. Gave up 17 shots on goal. You're going to face this team not too many days from now. They're going to have to figure out next time around how do they slow down that Memphis attack.
Birmingham, do bounce back. They pick up a point and have another home game coming up shortly on Sunday against Miami FC. Memphis, meanwhile, will take a point from this road contest and then have another big road test coming up against Tampa Bay before seeing Birmingham a second time.
Memphis has tough 4 games, especially when you consider the location of some of those games. They're going to have to really be sharp if they want to stay in that 4th seeded position.
Meanwhile, for Birmingham Legion, their third game in 8 days is forthcoming. As we mentioned, they play Miami at home coming up this Sunday before making the trip to Memphis, then Monterey and Charleston Battery. The Legion still need to collect points to make sure they can lock up that playoff spot.
Legion will certainly feel like all 4 of these games are winnable, but they all present a little bit different challenge. The Miami FC had 4 goals tonight. Legion have been struggling to defend at times, so that could be a very interesting matchup.
So Memphis up into 4th, Birmingham remain in 7th, 4 points clear of the 8 seed Tulsa and 6 points clear of the team just out of the playoff race right now, Detroit City, who are in 9th. Birmingham Legion right back here at Protective Stadium coming up this weekend. But another edition of this Birmingham-Memphis rivalry is in the books. The 14th meeting overall, we have our 5th draw between Birmingham Legion and Memphis. 2 second-half goals, the story tonight. The first from Prosper Kasim, the second from Aiden McFadden. And in the end, the points shared between the 2 Southern rivals, who will do it all over again at AutoZone Park in Memphis next weekend. Until then, we say so long from Protective Stadium in Birmingham, Alabama. For Mike Getman and our entire crew, along with Christina Chambers, thanks for watching our coverage of the USL Championship here in Birmingham. We'll talk to you next time for another edition of USL Championship Soccer.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.